have a few words. I just want to say welcome, everybody. My name's Christine Buhr. If you've never met me before, I'm the chair of the FEC committee for IAPA, and I'm one of the co-founders of this Slack group, along with Brandon Wiley, who was just talking a second ago, and Nick DiMatteo, who's not on the call today. This group was created through the IAPA FEC committee as a place for FEC owners, operators, and manufacturers, yes, to connect and collaborate. So today, I'm pleased to welcome you to our behind the scene tour series, where we're going to be exploring the ins and outs of your favorite FECs. Now, the goal of this series is to help resource you as a leader and in your FEC business as we move forward this business kind of as unusual with this new COVID-19 world. So over the next few weeks, we've asked some of the FECs in our groups to open up their doors and take us through their facilities and showcase their attractions, their business operations, you know, including changes they've been required to make because of COVID, any sales and marketing strategies that they've put in place, and anything else they might be keen to showcase in their businesses. So today we're thrilled to have with us Richard McVay from Buhr. But before I introduce them and I jump in, I just want to mention a few quick housekeeping points. So if you're interested in finding out more about these tours, be sure to log into the Slack channel for regular updates. We'll be posting who's coming up next and what's happening with the tours. If anybody's having trouble accessing their accounts, please send me a message so that I can help you get it reactivated and log back in again. Also, we have a few people on the call today, so let's just make sure that we're muted. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to, you can turn your cameras off. You don't have to leave them on, but you're more than welcome to leave them on. Now, the format for today's tour. Once we're ready to go, we're going to pass the spotlight over to Richard, who's going to spend the next 20 minutes giving us a video tour of his facility. After the tour, we'll have the chance to ask him questions. And what I'd love for you to do today is if you have any questions, just post them in the chat. We'll take a look at the questions you're asking, and then we'll facilitate asking them to Richard when he gets back to his office to sit down to answer them. Also in the chat, remember, if you want to point something out that you notice, or if there's something that you feel would be valuable for everybody to hear, just write it in the chat so that people can kind of be looking back and forth in that area. And also I'd ask if there's an FEC that you'd like to see in this tour series, please let us know in the chat, and we'll try to facilitate getting them onto this series. Now, we also know that not everyone could have been here at this time, so we are going to be recording these sessions and posting them for you to view in that Slack channel. The one thing I would ask you to do, though, is keep in mind that since we are recording, if you private message me or whoever's in the host, that gets recorded, so please be mindful about what you're sending. And yes, I had to say that from experience. All right, now without further ado, I would like to introduce Richard McVay. Richard McVay is the founder and CEO of Dardamup Development Company, LLC, and R&S Games. He has been the owner-operator of Dardamup Family Entertainment Center since November 2016. His background includes 18 years in national telecommunications and another 15 years in retail development and operations. He has built and operated over 400 retail stores and developed over 500 wireless dealer franchise locations. He has extensive experience in staffing, training, marketing, operations, and sales. Dardamup is a family entertainment center that operates in an as an indoor foam dart sports arena. It's suitable for ages 5 and up. It's a game of fun for the entire family. They offer walk-in play, groups, birthday parties, and have a variety of arcade games. They also offer team building, corporate events, field trips, and fundraising opportunities. Now, Richard's a bit of a newbie in this industry. He's only been involved since 2016. So when I asked Richard what inspired him to open up Dardamup, he said, you know, him and his son absolutely love Nerf guns, and he just saw this as an amazing opportunity to turn it into a family entertainment center complex or a concept. So we are so excited to have you, Richard. I'm going to pass the reins over to you now and let you get started on this tour.
Fantastic. Thank you, Christine, and welcome everybody to Dardamup. I'm going to go outside just for a moment. There's probably someone cutting grass or something like that, so I might be a little bit loud. I'll come back in and start showing and speaking, so you'll be looking at the place while listening to me. So I'm going to change up the dial up here to look outside. Nice. So right now we have a big X up. It says now open, so we were able to do that, get some exposure. And then coming up to the windows, We made signage big because a lot of businesses might have an 8x11 on their front door, but we wanted it bigger as far as what the guidelines are. Face masks we're strongly recommending, but as of yesterday, that's changed, and I'll talk more about that because mayor has changed that to where it's mandated now. So, and then our hours, and then a nice little post just thanking everybody for their support. So just extra little things. And now we've had to go on to reservations instead of walk-ins because our business is indoor nurse battles, basically. So they come in, they got to get their temperature checked. We have more posters here as far as the rules, the guidelines, and then also the guidelines for our employees. So that way they know right off the bat to put them at ease. So we have hand sanitizer everywhere like everybody else. Waivers, we took away the iPads so they don't do touch. So they haven't done it online. I have paper waivers. We put up as far as the plexiglass everywhere. This is our party center check-in when you all come in. Cubby holes over there because it's socks only in the arenas. And then of course all the signage, we made little bullet points, little darts, targets basically about the 6-foot social distancing going around. Our menu board with the hours, our house rules, they get paid by the hour, 2 hours, and then of course we have group rates on the weekends. We do concessions only here. For the birthday parties, we get our pizzas delivered from an outside source, which has been really good. So concessions only, more the plexiglass, and that's Miss Anna over there. Now they pay by the hour, so it's $9.99 an hour or during the week, $12.99 an hour during the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They get, we have the blasters in different levels. Level 1 has about 6 blasters to where they get that with the hourly purchase. And then where I talked about in IAP at the FEC luncheon, where we can make our money is on the upgrades of the blasters to where we rent them, like $2, $4, $6, $8, $10. And we also do rivals as well. We sell merchandise, which is really good. One of the things, I don't know if Nick's on here or not, but we talked about, I'll show him here, because we have to wear masks, we're wearing gloves. We did little things, and we also had fun. Turn it over. So they got to choose a regular picture and then a fun picture, just to have fun here, because everyone's going to be, we wear masks and we wear gloves. If the customer wants to have masks, they can buy them as well. And then also if they want gloves, we have gloves provided with that. Now, I have plastic bags up here. One of the extra steps that we've taken is that when you come in, you got to take your shoes off. So what we're doing is handing out the plastic bags to put the shoes in, to put in the cubby holes, just as an extra precaution, for sanitizing everything, which is really nice. So it's wide and open right now. We took a lot of chairs and tables and stored them in one of the rooms. Actually, in room 3, I have 3 party rooms. So they check in, customers do, they get their blaster card. Usually as far as a wristband is needed for the hourly play, because we used to do walk-ins, now it's reservations only. So they come over here to the briefing room where we have signage up. And this is the fun part, and I'll go slow. So when they come in, we're only allowing about 3 to 4 people. They come in to get the rules and the safety rules, and this is the briefing room. We have over 700 blasters total in this room and another room. So it's always like the big-eyed going, oh my goodness, this is great. So they get the rules. Everybody gets a pair of goggles. Everybody gets a jersey because everyone's on teams inside the arenas. One of the things too, Carol, can you give me a bandana and a regular mask? So we always have bandanas, and now we had masks made. My cousin made them for the kids because now it is mandatory. The city of Austin last night mandated, even though Texas governor said strongly recommend, Last night, the city mandated that all businesses by June 23rd have into play that all customers, all employees will be wearing masks, period. And I don't know how long that's going to be for, but it's going to be interesting because we did put out a survey like everybody else. And part of that about the face mask was 50-50. And so this is a probably change up dynamics a little bit, but we should be good. So they get their blaster, they get their goggles, jersey. This is the hallway. This is one picture point that everyone takes pictures of before they leave. And of course, we had fun with the 6 foot apart rules. We have those everywhere and on the floor. Even put them in the door. We have 2 arenas. So this one is the zombie arena. We have penalty boxes. So they come in and we have them. We are at limited capacity right now. So we have maybe 30 in this we can get up to and 20 in the other one for the time being. We space them out. If they are a group that know each other, they can, as far as be together, but we try to space them out when we do our games. We'll go slow because sometimes sometimes fast. Reason why we call it the zombie room.
You're doing great, Richard. Just
okay.
FYI.
So very colorful. We built the bunkers ourselves. Actually, I got these from Synergy up in Killeen. They were closing their laser tag place, I think to put in VR. So they said, hey, do you want some of these bunkers? I said, yeah. So I'm utilizing them right now, and which is really nice. So they come in here. I have a referee. I got Ryan up there right now, one of my management team. So I have a DJ rep, and they play the music, and they also call out the different games. With an hour game, or for the hour, the games change up every 3 to 5 minutes. Team elimination, total chaos, freeze tag, after the flag, which is a lot of fun. We do glow nights. Go ahead and turn the lights on. I got the lights from Art Attack, which is really nice. So lights up the place, which is very colorful, but we're not going to do glow nights yet until a little bit further down the road to get back glow nights, because we just think that from a social distancing and safety issue, we wanted to wait until we know. So we have different specials throughout the week that we run. Right now, we just opened up last Wednesday, and it's been a slow start. We're probably only doing about 20%, maybe that, 15. And right now I have about 1 birthday party scheduled for this month. And typically the last 3 years, every month we've been doing 80 birthday parties or more. We've done over 1,000 birthday parties each year. So this is the other room basically for our rival blasters, which is really nice. We do rivals on Friday nights, and I also carry beer and wine. That's all I carry is just canned beer and wine, which works out well. And I added that about a year and a half later as far as opening up, and it's been a nice addition all the way around. Again, more plexiglass up just for safety purposes. We do have an arcade room. Not knowing what I know now, I wish that I had a bigger area and I added a redemption center. Right now it's very light on tables, chairs, due to the social distancing. We were able to, because I only have about 13 games, we were able to push everything apart. Typically, I have windows over there underneath the TVs, and we would have a row of chairs underneath so they could view and watch. But we took those chairs out just so we could do the proper social distancing. And then, of course, we set up sanitation stations everywhere. So we're sanitizing. We have a timer going off every 30 minutes to making sure that we are sanitizing. And we're making it a game, basically. We yell out, "Game on." I know it's kind of corny, but it's the way of recognizing that it is time to sanitize. So I got another one up here. I took the chairs that were over at the other area cut them together just so that way there's only one kind of entrance instead of it having a bigger area to roam around, so we can launch that, once we do have those people coming back. So the other arena is the Austin arena. I'm going to pop my head in there real fast so you can kind of see the play. It's going to be loud, and I apologize. So one of the things that we changed, we typically use whistles as referees, but we are using cowbells because everybody needs more cowbell. So we were able to change things out. We have a lot of fun. I consider, as far as the referees inside the room as entertainers, making sure that they are having fun. So we got a good group out right now, which I'm happy. I am very happy about this. And
Great.
then we go down the hallway. Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's great to see people there, Richard.
I know. I'm so very blessed for that standpoint. Our hallway. We have 3 party rooms. One of the things that, to make the changes, and we're talking to the party parents, if they want a social distance, that we can spread out everything, take some chairs out. We have, large enough party rooms. The other thing that we changed is not to have the plates and cups out on the tables for being festive. What we've done is put them in a tub, and we'll just serve it from here. It's, we're trying to make all these changes to see what this is going to look like so we can have birthday parties again. So that is it in a nutshell as far as for Dart 'em Up. Or Indoor Nerf, we're a unique and different type of family entertainment center. A lot of different signage, but I think, we've covered everything from being cautious, using our face masks, the gloves, signage everywhere so people can come out and have a good time. So we went to the reservations to where it is online, and they can call in. So they pay for the hour, and then we sanitize everything down for 15 minutes for the next hourly play. That's how we're doing it. So I'm going to turn mine off here on the camera, and then I'm going to go into the office so I can answer any questions, or if I need to go back to any place.
I think you did great. Thank you. We'll just wait for you to get settled, and then I have some questions for you, and I think we'll probably get more. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat now. And there was a few that are already in there, so we'll start going through those first, and then I have some other additional questions for you, Richard. Did we lose him? Oh no, there he is.
No,
Oh,
I am here.
There you are. I'm like, oh no. Okay.
It's like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
And Christine, I gotta just give kudos out to Leslie, because it's Leslie's reason why I joined IAPA when I met her in Las Vegas, and she told me and schooled me basically on everything I needed to know and why I needed to join this group, and I am very grateful to her for that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. She'll appreciate that.
Thank you, Richard. I feel the love.
There you go. Okay, let's get started. We have some questions here. Brandon would love to know the percentage of your revenue that merchandise drives. And I want to add to that as well. And I would like to know how much revenue do your gun upgrades drive? I'm not sure if you want to go over that a little bit with this group, because I thought that was fascinating.
Well, with the merchandise, I think we can enhance it. We're only doing about maybe 5%, 4% on the merchandising. It's not a big seller. It's more from a marketing aspect of things. On the Nerf blasters that I do carry, it depends on the season. Like, I'll bulk up for Christmas time, as gifts. I do a lot of the smaller ones because I'm finding that people forgot a birthday gift. So all of a sudden they see that and like, oh, let's get this. So it's an extra thing just to have. It wasn't planned as far as carrying that extra merchandise, but it's been a nice touch, especially the face masks. When I get eye goggles in, those seem to zoom out, because really when parents buy Nerf blasters at any place that they go to, they don't think about getting the goggles for the
Mm.
kids. It's like me and Sean, we never had goggles at the house, out in the backyard. And it's like, oh yeah, we could probably damage an eye. So, I never thought I would have Nerf nerd on my resume, but now I do.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment. Quite an accomplishment. And then tell us a little bit about how your guns and your gun upgrade works. And I'm really curious to know how much revenue is derived from that.
Well, we probably do about, let's say the $9.99 per hour. We probably do about 50% of people that do upgrades, which is a great enhancement. And typically it's level 3, which is the most popular sweet spot. So that's $4 for the level 3. So
Awesome.
when you look at that, you're looking at $14 per person, per hour during the week. During the weekend, it's more. So that adds, that extra revenue.
Yep.
So it's a nice sweet spot all the way around.
That's awesome. Awesome. Um, and can you tell us a little bit more about how you actually sanitize your the arena and the darts, particularly?
Yeah, we did this before the whole pandemic. We have a chemical that we use with electrostatic guns and everything. So we'll mop down everything with a disinfectant, and then we go back over it with the electrostatic sprayer with the disinfectant that is CDC approved. And so that does well. And then the darts, we've always sanitized with the same stuff and putting them in a big bucket. It's like we're shifting through those. So,
Wow.
and I go through a lot of darts. In one arena, I have 10,000. In the other arena, I have 9,000. Yeah. So we probably go through each week. When we're a busy season, I'm going through probably a couple thousand each week. That's
You're replacing darts or you're cleaning?
yes,
Oh,
replacing
wow.
darts because when they get too soft, the blasters get jammed, and then people are upset, and so we recycle a lot of them as far as new. So that's one of my expenses, and we watch that carefully. There's other darts that we can reglue the tip on, the big mega darts, to save money. So once if we get bigger, then I can buy more in bulk, but until that time, I look for all kinds of specials. There's one distributor that I use that I get some extra specials on.
So
Do people steal them, Richard?
What?
Do people steal the darts?
I don't think steal would be the word. I think they walk out with them in their pockets. So I'll have, it's funny because I'll have particularly dads come back in with their kids. It's like, I'm so sorry, I took these the last time I was here. So, hey, it brings them back, right? Like tokens. Like, come on back.
Yeah. Do you have your name branded on the darts?
That's what I need to do.
Yeah. 100%, yeah.
But that's an extra expense, and being a small family business, like I can do without.
It's a goal for sure.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Sure. Okay, great. Brandon would like to know the penalty boxes. What are they used for? How do those work?
So the penalty boxes, if you've ever played, paintball, they usually have an area to where if the strategy is if you get tagged by a dart, you're out. If you're out, hands go up and you go over to the penalty box until the next game. So, or if they yell, and if you're in the penalty box, they could yell respawn, and then you can come back out of the penalty box and join the game in progress. So it's all about team play, team sportsmanship all the way around. They got to follow the rules. If they don't, there are warnings. First warning, because there's no headshots as part of the warnings when we go over the rules. First warning. Second warning, they sit out a game. Third warning, they could be out of the arena completely and no refunds. And I have that in the house rules. So it helps prevent as far as, any fights or anything. I mean, 3.5 years now, knock on wood, we haven't had any incidences. The only injuries that we've had has been probably baby teeth that have been out. Probably a couple sprained toes. One dislocated shoulder because it was a PE teacher and tried to jump and roll, did it to himself. And then one broken arm because the sister jumped on her brother's arm while he was on the floor.
Good sister. Yep. Great. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Rob is asking, how big are your arenas? And can you tell us what the previous capacity was and what is the capacity now?
So I have a 2,800 square foot arena and the other one's 2,400. I can get up to 60 in the large one and up to 40 in the other one. Right now I could be at 50%, so I'm doing 30 in one, 20 in the other. I only wish every hour I had that many people out, So it's one of those things, just give me the 25% and I'll be happy for every hour. That'd be a great day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your sales and marketing strategy for during this pandemic? Like, how did you tell people that you were open again? How are you marketing yourself now that you are open?
Well, I kept in contact with them by doing, the email chimp emails out to everybody on a weekly basis just to give them updates. Then we also did, as far as on social media, Facebook, Instagram, to let them know what was going on at any given point. But also we did a lot of funny videos just to have fun and games with them during this whole pandemic. And then as we were going to be opening up, we started giving little social media posts and videos. When I'm doing a video talking to, the customer, those videos seem to do much better than the post. And so that's been, a really nice thing. A lot of support from the regulars. We have probably a customer base for my emails at about, 18,000, something like that. So, which is, pretty good, I think. Not knowing the industry, I'm still learning as far as we grow. But that, and I contacted all the PTA presidents because we are a community member for the several school districts. So I'd sent out email to them as far as letting them know what was going on. And then if they ever wanted to do any specials when we reopen for summertime, let me know because they might want to have a get together once things kind of clear up, and they might want to have a big PTA party, from the school because they haven't been getting together.
Did you get any pushbacks from customers when you announced that you were opening again?
I only saw, no, we did not. We sent out a survey like everybody else, and there was basically, 7 questions on there. Pretty much the same questions that everybody else was asking. It was 50-50 on wearing the face mask or not. Sanitization and signage was a key thing. There was one customer that made a comment going, you shouldn't open up at all. So that happens, expected it, but there hadn't been any pushback. And majority of the customers, as you well have been on those webinars, that 30 or 40% of the customers, the regular customers, they're going to come out no matter what. They're ready. And a lot of the moms that I've talked to, it's like, Richard, we're so done. We just want to come out. Can I just drop them off? So those are the people coming out, and those are the people really that aren't wearing masks. There are some that are and some are not, but now I'm going to have to make it mandatory, which is going to be, just throw more fuel to the fire, just trying to get open up, and now they're going to do this. So we'll see how this goes. But we were ready to do full mask anyway.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to combine 2 questions here. One is around, did you change your hours or pricing or anything here? And then what's been the impact? Like, what kind of volume are you seeing coming through your facility in those hours?
So we reduced the hours. We're typically 10 to 9 during the summertime. We closed on Mondays, just for cleaning and sanitizing everything, all the arenas, a deep clean. So we're going from 11 to 8, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 on Fridays, 11 or 10 to 9 on Saturdays, and 11 to 7 on Sundays. We've got the regular hours on Sundays. We're trying to feel our way through this. The first week, I would say that I've had a total maybe of 100 customers over the last week, paying customers, and I've had five field trips, and those field trips average 15 to 20, whereas a lot of these summer camps that have their field trips here on summer, every summer, have been like 50, 60. We had some camps that had booked for 100, and they're down to those numbers, and it's sad, but that's the reality as to what's going on, and other businesses have closed. So it's still getting the word out that we're open, and so this is going to take time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's been, gosh, was it 2 years ago that I was there visiting your facility? I think it was.
Yeah, in January. Yeah.
And I remember you had just added alcohol at that point in time, and I think you're starting to do the date night thing then, right?
Yeah, we have adult nights on Saturday nights from 8 to midnight, 15 for one, 25 for two, unlimited time. And we started seeing, groups coming out. We even now have an adult birthday party that they can do. And so it started making headway, and we've had more and more groups. I mean, NERF has been around for 50 years last year. Yeah. And so it's great to see that. We started building up our team building. I mean, coming into this fourth year, all the branding started clicking. People knew more about us. The companies were knowing more about us, for team building purposes, and so now that's kind of dropped by the wayside. Like, okay, what do we do with companies? What do we do for team building? Frank Price had his birthday yesterday, and he was talking about, the gatherings, family gatherings, company gatherings, kind of looking at things differently and outside the norm. I'm checking into looking at doing a mobile unit. But then you got more costs of the van or bus and everything else involved, and the insurance, for someone driving that. So it's like, what do I do here? So
yeah, 100% for sure. And would you say, like, with these adult nights that you're having, is it actually adults, or is it young adults? Or what does that demographic made up of?
It'd be mostly millennials.
Okay.
Sometimes I get those. We've had several 39 birthday parties, as far as happy birthday on 39.
Wow.
To where we make it into a 70s night or 80s night, whatever it may be. I've had live bands out in one arena as well. Yeah. So we're trying different things and getting those ideas from you guys out there at the different sessions. That's where I'm learning a lot. Yeah. So like the yoga night, I was going to start yoga night, Thursday glow. I was going to start Thursday glow yoga nights because of Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
He was doing them. Yeah. So I was lined up to start that in April, but it's like, yeah, we'll do that later.
Yeah. And can we circle back to the alcohol? How's that going? Like, have you had any issues in the facility, like people drinking too much, or like it just getting out of hand, or is it?
It's been a perfect combination. It has not gotten out of hand, fortunate, knock on wood, but the parents love it, especially during the weekends, and they're having birthday parties. It's like, oh yeah. So, it hadn't been an issue, and then adult nights, it has not been an issue, but it is, the forefront, whether or not, to watch that. I mean, we watch it, they know it, we've only had to cut one person off because it was her birthday, and yeah, she had a little bit too much.
Oh, fun times. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I was going to ask you something else and it slipped my mind. Hold on a second. Oh, I know. You've been doing this for how many years now? Just 2, right? Or 4? No, 4 years. 4.
Yeah, this is our
And
4th year. Yes.
and you've entered the franchise zone. I call it now. So tell us a little bit about that. What are your goals? What's happening there? How can this group support you?
I think it's, getting out the word. We have one signed up. They had a place location, but it fell through at the end of February, which is probably a godsend. But we're looking to get them open up this fall, which would be really good. I got several of them on hold, until this pandemic. But I think we're just a different, unique type of family entertainment center, which I think is needed. And then some family entertainment centers have asked about doing a Dart 'em Up, space at their location. So that could be an option as well to look at, because it is definitely unique and different. But when you have the whole family, especially grandparents against grandkids out there playing, we've created a whole different memory, which works really well, and it can be done. Because at the beginning, when I started this, a lot of people were like, "You're just gonna have Nerf, no laser tag?" I said, "Nope."
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of naysayers, and then I won a lot of people over, and so that's been a nice blessing. But yeah, we're gonna start I haven't started advertising the franchising, but that's on the plate come August, and the different markets. I'm starting in Texas first, and then expanding. But I got 2 other potentials, one in Florida and one in Ohio. So we'll see what happens. So I think it's just getting the word out. I know RT's on here, so it really is just getting the word out of what we're doing as far as from a franchising standpoint. We're small to medium size, and it's going to take anywhere from $270,000 to like $550,000, depending on the build out, as everyone knows, to be able to do that. And this is 12,500 square foot. I'm recommending at least 13 to 14, so that way they can expand on the arcade room and have a redemption center. That's got to be key.
Okay. Okay, we do have a question for RT now. What do your group specials, or how do your group specials work during these times? For example, your group Wednesdays, do guests have concerns playing with other random groups of 4, or do the 4 play in their own arena for a period of time and then rotate? How exactly does that work?
They can be in the same arena. We got them spread out as far as the group play. There has not been an issue. Of course, we've only been open 1 week, so I'll have to get back with you on probably another call, or get back with you on that. Like I said, a lot of regulars have been coming back, but I've had a lot of new people, which has been a blessing coming out. So the people that are coming out, I don't see them having any issues. Like I'm making sure, thanking each and every customer coming in, but there really hasn't been any issues that they brought up so far. And we've had some really good posts from them on social media, which helps us.
That's awesome. Yep. Now, when these guests are coming to your facility, are you temperature checking them when they come in? And have you had to turn anybody away yet?
We are doing temperature checks on everybody, and there has not been an issue from the field trips to regular people coming in to grandparents just coming to watch. There has not been an issue. In fact, they love it that we are doing the temperature check. There has not been any that we've had to turn away, but we're ready from that aspect. We've got a lot of, when we put our package together, we put a lot of FAQs in there, how to handle these situations. And the gentleman with crisis management, I can't think of his name right offhand, that's been on our calls.
Jeff Chatterton.
Thanks.
Chatterton, yes, thank you, Brandon. I mean, I had a session with him. He had, he said, "Hey, I'm having free sessions," so I called him, and we went through those points, and it brings back to, I'm a dad. Thought through all this. These are our rules. We're following the guidelines. So it was very helpful having somebody else on the committee reaching out to help us out.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome. I have a question for you. If you were to start this all over again and you had endless buckets of money, what would you do differently the next time?
Knowing what I know now,
Mm-hmm.
adding as far as definitely the bigger arcade area would be the number one thing. So, so that way it's a venue into itself that they would come out for that. I would have added more, probably an extra party room or two, because we do so many, and I'm only limited because we've had a lot of weekends where I'm maxed at 36 and that's all I can do. And we get a lot of those. As far as anything different, I'm still, going through the motions of, adding new stuff. We're looking at adding video walls in the arenas to connect to Twitch and be able to play esports in the background while they're playing Nerf. Nerf is teamed up with, they got the Fortnite blasters out. They have the Overwatch rivals. And then now they're coming out with Call of Duty rivals or blasters. I can't remember, but they're coming out soon. So that's still on the plate. I know I've talked to you about that, Christine. I looked at the esports arena, but that's a whole different subject to where that takes sponsors. So I'm learning along the way as far as what's going on. But I think it's my background as far as putting stores together and markets together. And, it's helped me being able to utilize my experience in the family entertainment center business.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Can you describe to us where you're located in Austin? I know you're in a strip mall, but maybe kind of explain that. What's your traffic like in that area? And did you feel that did you pick the right location, or could you have picked a better spot?
I picked a really good spot from the standpoint of knowing the demographics of Austin. Because I work for Cricket Wireless and I put a lot of dealers together here. I already knew the demographics in place. I used to run the numbers for the South United States in different markets as far as demographics, and we had our own software, which I still use. So Round Rock is in a school district that has over 52,000 students. I am in North Austin, so I'm on the southern part of Round Rock School District. I am on the top north part of Austin School District, which has another, what are they up to now? 65,000 students. So I think I'm in a really good spot. I'm right across the street. There's a pinballs across the highway. There's a main event probably a mile down or less than a mile down. Urban Air is right around the corner, probably about 2 blocks from me. There's a Jump Street trampoline place and the mall that's about 2 blocks from me. So I am surrounded, and a Catch Air. So I am surrounded by family entertainment centers because of the growth of Central Texas. North Austin, Round Rock is growing, Cedar Park, Liberty Hill. So I'm in a good spot. Austin could probably have at least 2 other Dart-em-ups. And so that's what I'm hoping, especially down south, they need one.
Awesome. And I can ask you a question, and if you don't want to answer it, please say no. But have you had any issues with landlord lease issues or anything like that?
Yes.
Okay. And have you been able to manage your way through it and come to a resolution?
Look, we're all in this together. At the beginning, there was no compromise. Finally, we got through, I think, by the end of April or towards the end of April. I think they were able to negotiate better or let their guard down to where I partially paid for March of the days that I was open. And then I also had to pay the CAM charges, insurance. And so they only charged me for the CAM and insurance for April and May. So we're still waiting on June. So I think with it's proper. It's just being open and honest. What's going on? It's like, here you go. So, and they're hurting too. And so we're trying to work through this because this is going to continue negotiating for the next several months. Because right now it's, the 19th or 18th, the way it's going right now, let's say I increase another 5 or 10%, I'm still not going to be able to pay full rent. I'm just not. I got the PPP, which was a major difference as far as being able to open again. And then I got part of a county. They had some grants of about 15,000. So everything counts, and so we're all in this together as far as survival. But it is going to take some time. Am I happy that they put the mandatory mask in place? Not happy, but we're ready for it.
How big is your team? Sorry.
I had 18 people right before spring break. We were going to hire another 4. That was that week of March 17th when we had to close. That was all spring break. We had, field trips. We had a lot of stuff booked that week, but that all went by the wayside.
These are part-time staff? These are part-time staff, right?
Part-time staff. I have 3 full-time, management, and then some key holders basically. And I had 11 come back. So the other ones, some didn't want to come back. Some want to wait till maybe July or August. So I hired 1 more person, but right now I don't have enough to keep them busy, even part-time, because, you're trying to forecast and schedule out based on sales, and that's all out the door. So I got them scheduled, let's say from 11 to 5, and then I'm looking at them, it's like it's 1 or 2, and it's like, go, because I don't have any reservations. So it's a different dynamic for us because we are taking reservations now where we didn't before. It was walk in, get them a colored wristband, and put them into the game. So, but it's helping, scheduling, a little bit better, but we still don't know people coming out. So it's all going to be good. It's just going to take time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we have time for just a couple more questions here. And so the one I want to go back up to is, I think it was Artito's asking, are you allowing or making exceptions for outside food and drink for your parties?
The only outside food that I bring in, of course, is the pizzas. Beforehand, they could bring some outside food. We try to keep it small, but different ethnics, want to bring in different foods. And it's like we work with each party mom. But now I don't have any. I have 1 birthday party scheduled next weekend, and I hope it comes out. Right now I have 30 booked in July. And of course, there again, going back to, I usually typically have 80 or more, booked, even though it's summertime. So, I hope I have that issue, and I got to find out if they can bring in food. That's a great question. To be honest with you, I haven't thought about that yet because we hadn't had any birthday parties.
Fair enough. And then just one last question from Rob here is the reservation system that you have in place, is it working, or are people still walking in by mistake?
Because of the social media, a lot of them have been calling in. Some have been, because I'm using Bookio, because Party Center can't handle that. So I went to Bookio real fast, put that in play. And a lot of them I put on there to where they can pay or not pay. And a lot of them are not paying because they might have been here and they'd be paying for upgrades anyway. So beneficial to us. So, I would say 70% are calling in, 30% on Bookio. And, or let's say 60, 30, and 10% are walking in.
Okay.
It's like, can we play? It's like, well, no one's booked at that time. Yeah, we can get you in.
Cool. Richard, are you able to stay on the line and answer a few more questions for us?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I just want to close quickly then, because I know Brandon has to jump off here, and we're trying things out here and trying to record this session for other people. But I just want to say thank you for being with us today, and thank you to everybody that was able to be on the call with us. We really appreciate you being part of this community, and regardless of what you're facing right now, you know, you're not alone. This community is so great about supporting each other and solving problems. We just really encourage you to utilize this Slack channel to connect with your peers, share your stories, share your thoughts, interact with each other, and let's just see how we can help each other. And again, just please join us over the next few weeks as we continue to take a peek behind the scenes. Next week, we will be having Dutch McGrath on the call, and we're going to be taking a tour of Sir Goonies and looking at his facility, which I'm super excited about because I've never been there before. And he's also a manufacturer, so it's going to be great to get both sides of the coin. Also, we'll end this recording, but we're going to put it on the Slack channel. So if you want to watch it again, or if you want to share it with your folks, it'll be there for you guys to access. But thank you guys for being on the call today, and appreciate it.